Good afternoon, viewers. In the last class, I told you about diagrammatic representation, and I am sorry that I forgot to tell you about the graphic representation. When you go for graphic representation, you will have four types of graphs. First one is histogram. It is nothing but the bar diagram. Okay, it is nothing but a bar diagram, and we have to take into account the middle points of all the bars, and we have to connect that. Thereby, we can come to know about the median value, mode value, and arithmetic mean value. This is about histogram. Second one is frequency polygon. Frequency polygon means you have to take into account the graph sheet, and you have to take the data, okay, years on x-axis and the data on y-axis. So you have to plot the dots, and you have to club the dots by a scale. Okay, that is nothing but frequency polygon. And the next one is frequency curve. Okay, see, it is just same as that of frequency polygon, but here you should not club the dots, okay, with scale. You have to use your free hand, and you have to join them. So thereby you will come across a frequency curve. And the last one is cumulative frequency curves. We'll call them as ogives. Okay, OGIVES, ogives. So the other name is cumulative frequency curves. That is, we have to take the data, and for the data what is the frequency that we are having, then we have to find out the cumulative frequency, and this cumulative frequency you have to plot. In this you will come across less than ogive curve and more than ogive curve. One thing you have to keep in mind is when you are drawing this less than ogive curves, you have to take the upper class limits. For example, if you are given in 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like that, if you are given the classes, so you have to take into account 10, 20, 30, and you have to draw the curve that is less than ogive or less than cumulative curve. When you are going for more than cumulative curve or more than ogives, so you have to take into account the lower limits of the class. Here when you are going for cumulative frequency curves, you will come across class intervals, that is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like that you will come across, and you have to plot the diagram, you have to plot the graph. This is about graphic representation. And in the last class I forgot to tell you about this graphic representation. And after that I explained about this measures of central tendency. Okay, and when we are going for measures of central tendency, we will come across some mathematical properties. We will come across some mathematical properties, and we have to consider that mathematical properties. So what are the mathematical properties that we come across when you go for arithmetic mean? Okay, we'll have so many mathematical properties, but the thing is, okay, out of the mathematical properties we will have, okay, some important mathematical properties, and those are nothing but the combined arithmetic mean of two groups and combined arithmetic mean of three groups. So when you go for mathematical properties, and when you come across combined arithmetic mean of two groups, you have to take into account the formula n1 bar x1 plus n2 bar x2 by n1 plus n2. Okay, n1 plus n2. This is about the arithmetic mean of two groups, and that the arithmetic mean of two groups will represent that as bar x12. We should not call that as bar x12. It is bar x12. This is about combined arithmetic mean of two groups. And next one is combined arithmetic mean of three groups. So bar x123, it is not 123 please. Okay, it is bar x123. You have to call that. It is, the formula is n1 bar x1 plus n2 bar x2 plus n3 bar x3 divided by n1 plus n2 plus n3. Okay, in your examinations you will come across this combined arithmetic mean of two groups and combined arithmetic mean of 3 groups. Like that you will come across. So how will be the problems? In a factory, there are male workers and child workers. So they will give you the data about the number of male workers and the number of female workers, the number of child workers, and what is the minimum wage, that is mean wage of a male worker, mean wage of a female worker, and mean wage of a child worker. So that is the way that you will come across in your examinations, okay, the questions. And after that, we are going for weighted arithmetic mean. What is this weighted arithmetic mean? When you are given the weights, you have to find out this weighted arithmetic mean. Now whatever we have completed, it is nothing but simple arithmetic mean. Now we are going for weighted arithmetic mean, where weights are assigned. Suppose if weights are not assigned, you can take any weight according to the data whatever it was given to you. You can take any weight like 1 to 3 or 3 to 1, like that. In any way you can take the weights, and you have to find out the weighted, okay, weighted x values, that is wx. We will call that thing as wx. And when you are going for weighted arithmetic mean, keep that in mind. You will be given the ungrouped data, that too individual series, not discrete series. Okay, they will give you the individual series, that is individual data, and they will give you the weights, and you have to multiply the weights, and you have to total them. That is, you will get sigma wx, and this sigma wx you have to multiply with the total of weights. The formula is bar xw is equal to sigma wx by sigma w. This is the formula to calculate the weighted arithmetic mean. Now corrected arithmetic mean, this is very important from examination point of view, and most of the people, they are failing in this. Okay, when you are given the arithmetic mean of some people, out of that, if two values are wrong, instead of two values, some other two values are given. So wrong values and correct values, okay, you have to take into account both the things. So there you have to find out the summation of the observations or summation of the items. Then from the summation, you have to deduct the wrong items, and you have to add the correct items. Thereby you will come across the correct total, correct summation. And that correct summation you have to divide with the number of data, the number of items or number of observations. Then you will come across the correct arithmetic mean. This thing, in recent papers they had given this problem, but so many people, they have done a wrong thing. That is, what they have done is, they have taken into account the wrong items, and from the correct items, and from that they deducted this wrong items, and they did that. Okay, that's way is also good, but thing is, the procedure and the method is, you have to take into account the summation of the observation, summation of the items, and from the summation you have to deduct the wrong items, and you have to add the correct items. That is the procedure that you have to adopt. It is not deducting the wrong items from the correct items and then going for that. So some people, they will do like that, but thing is, you have to take into account the correct summation of the observations. Then only you can go for the corrected values of arithmetic mean. And after this, we will come across the positional average, important positional average, that is median. Median is nothing but the middlemost point of the observations. Taking into account the observations, we have to take into account the middle value, and through that middle value we can represent the average. So that is nothing but median. Okay, and you will come across the individual observations, discrete series and continuous series in this median also. But thing is, first of all, you have to take into account the middle value or middlemost point. So in individual series, in individual series, we have to follow the steps. Arrange the values in the group either in ascending order or in descending order. First of all, you have to arrange them either in ascending order or in descending order. Then you have to find out the value of the middle item by applying the formula, that is median is equal to size of n plus 1 by 2th item. We have to divide the data into two equal parts, and we have to see what is the central value. Sir, sometimes we will come across even numbers and sometimes we will come across odd numbers. When you come across odd numbers, you have to convert them into even numbers. For that, you have to add 1. And when you are given the even numbers, okay, it is easy. But generally, what they will do is, whether you will be given the even numbers or odd numbers, they are going to add 1. Okay, so size of n plus 1 by 2th item, that is the formula to find out the middle value or midmost value. So this formula you have to take into account, and corresponding value to this middlemost point will be the median value. And you may ask me, sir, suppose even odd number it was given, you are telling that we have to add 1, thereby it will be converted into even number. When even number it was given, or when we come across any decimals, any points, for example 5.5, okay, so when we come across like that, what we have to do when we come across any decimals, in that case you have to take into account the value of the fifth item and value of the sixth item, and you have to divide by 2, because you are taking two values, the value of fifth item as well as value of sixth item you are taking, and you have to take the average, by dividing the total with 2. Okay, so this is how you will come across when you go for odd number, for decimal points. But when you come across odd numbers, it will be easy. For example, if the total number, if it is 7, 7 plus 1, 8, 8 by 2 is equal to 4. So fourth item will be the median value. Okay, it is the middlemost size of the item, and corresponding value for that fourth item, it will be the median value. This is how you have to find out under individual series. Now when you go for discrete series, same thing you have to apply. That is, first of all you have to find out the middle size of middle item. For that, the formula is median is equal to size of n plus 1 by 2th item. Don't go for other numbers, because you have to divide the data into two equal parts. That's why we have to divide the size of the thing, the number of items, with 2. So median is equal to size of n plus 1 by 2th item. So you will get the size of the item. So you have to take into account the value from that. That is, first of all you have to arrange the data into ascending order or descending order. Then after that you have to take into account the cumulative frequency. So what is cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency, I told you already that it will be in a regular form. Like, it is not like that of simple frequency. Simple frequency, it starts with small values, in the middle you will see a big value, again it decreases. So that is simple frequency. It won't be in regular form, it will be in irregular manner. But when you go for cumulative frequency, it will be in regular form. That is, we are adding one frequency to another frequency. The first frequency will be the same, and for the first frequency you have to add the second frequency, thereby you will come across the cumulative frequency. Now after getting the cumulative frequency, you have to see the size of the item in the cumulative frequency, and corresponding value data or corresponding value to that cumulative frequency will be the median value. This is how you have to calculate under discrete series. Now, okay, now after that, continuous series. Continuous series, I told you already that it is nothing but a grouped data. it will be in classes, okay, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, like that it will be in classes. So here what we have to do is, there is no necessity for you to arrange the data either in ascending order or descending order, because the data will be in the form of classes. So you have to take the classes as it is, and then what you have to do is, you have to find out the cumulative frequency for the data. Cumulative frequency, as I already told you, you have to add the frequencies to the first frequency. That is, first frequency will be the same, and for the first frequency you have to add the second frequency, thereby you are going to get the second cumulative frequency. Like that you have to find out the cumulative frequency. After finding the cumulative frequency, you have to go for the formula to find out the size of the item. So there is no necessity for you to add 1. The formula will change over here. Median is equal to size of n by 2th item. Size of n by 2th item. So you will come across the size of the item, and that size of the item you have to see in the cumulative frequency where it is located. Where it is located. And corresponding value will be the median class. Corresponding value will be the median class. There you have to apply another formula, that is nothing but interpolation formula. What is this interpolation formula? In order to find out the correct median value, we have to use this interpolation formula. So there you have to take into account the interpolation formula. So what is the interpolation formula? L plus n by 2 minus Cf by f into I or C. Okay, I or C. When you are taking lower limit, you have to add, please. And when you are taking upper limit, u minus n by 2 minus Cf by f into I. Now I am going to tell you one by one. L is equal to nothing but the lower limit of the class. Okay, lower limit of the median class. And n by 2 size of the item. And what is Cf, sir? Preceding cumulative frequency of the median class. Preceding, that is before frequency, will be the cumulative frequency. And what is f? Frequency of the median class. And I, class interval. So like this you have to find, you use this interpolation formula to find out the actual median value. This is how you will come across. There is no necessity for you to arrange the data either in ascending order or in descending order. One thing you have to keep in mind is, when you are going for ungrouped data, then only you have to arrange the data either in ascending order or in descending order. That is the thing that you have to observe. But when you go for grouped data, there is no necessity for you to arrange the data, because everything will be in classes. Okay, either it will be 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, whatever it may be, inclusive or exclusive, whatever it may be the class. But one thing you have to keep in mind is, you have to find out the class interval. Class interval, that is most important. Okay, inclusive or exclusive, whatever it may be, finding out the class interval is the main important thing that you will come across. Suppose if you are given 0 to 9, then the class interval, by seeing, you will say that it is 9, sir, but it is wrong, please. It is 10. It is 10. That is, starting from 0 you have to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the class interval will be 10. So whenever you go for group data to find out the median value, you will come across two values. That is, median is equal to size of n by 2th item, and the second formula is the interpolation formula, that is nothing but L plus n by 2 minus Cf by f into I. So this is how you will come across the median value. Okay, this is how you will come across the median value. And we will come across some other positional averages also. And other positional averages, in this you have to take into account the quartiles, deciles, octiles, okay, percentiles. This is First thing, quartiles. First one is quartiles, second one is octiles, third one is deciles, and the fourth one is percentiles. And these are the other positional averages that we come across apart from median value. Median, it will take into account the middlemost point, but these other positional averages, they are taken into account according to the positions whatever they are looking for. Because sometimes when you go for median value, sometimes it may go wrong. So in that case, what they will do is they'll take into account the other positional averages, and through other positional averages they'll represent the average value. So with this I'll stop and I'll continue the other positional averages in the next video class. Have a nice day and please subscribe to my channel, please.